The 5 Steps of Forgiveness. I'm Jim Morningstar. Forgiveness is love in action as relationships present to us the challenges necessary for our growth. I believe that this is an essential and a potentially highly rewarding part of our life journey. Unfortunately, the concept of forgiveness has been misunderstood and consequently dismissed as sugarcoating and naive, or a temporary band-aid on issues that are much more complicated and entrenched. Nothing could be further from the truth. Genuine forgiveness combines the intelligence of the mind in being incisive and specific with the intelligence of the heart in being compassionate and inclusive of the needs of all parties. I'd like to share with you the 5 steps of forgiveness that I learned and taught in the School of Integrative Psychology for 35 years, and I believe are just as powerful and needed in our world today as ever. Step 1 in the forgiveness process is to forgive ourselves. You may say, this is counterintuitive. If someone ran into my car and wrecked it, why would I need to forgive myself? There's a primitive part of our brain that children display in magical thinking, which says that, well, if I wouldn't have been in that intersection at that time, or if I wouldn't have married that person who turned out to be horrible to me, then it wouldn't have happened. As a consequence, I have been permanently damaged. And that belief in permanent damage of myself or anyone else will put a wedge in my being able to fully release and let go of the incident. How can I go on with my life if I believe that I've been permanently damaged? Well, you may say, I lost a limb in that car accident. Will that grow back? No. The limb will not grow back. But I'm not less of a worthwhile person because of that car accident. I am not less deserving of love or less valuable as an individual because of that physical loss or even loss of mental capacities. Secondly, in forgiving myself, I must recognize that there is some gift or some lesson to be learned in the incident, even if I deem it to be tragic. This does not mean I whitewash it and say everything was wonderful or it should happen again. No, it doesn't take away the pain or all of the loss, but it empowers me to find in whatever incident that takes place in my life something that I gain from, something that I learn from, so that I'm not a complete victim no matter what happens to me in my life. Now I can go on to step 2, which is forgiving the other. If I believe I've been permanently damaged or I'm less than I was, it's very hard to forgive the other. I'm still holding on to the what-ifs or recriminations. In forgiving the other, I let go of the closeness of my heart to them and give myself and them the opportunity to have what we all really want in our life, which is open, loving relationship. Step 3 will assist in this process, and that is to find the part of them that forgives me. Now, I may say, well, their personality is like a bulldog and it's holding on to a grudge and then they'll take it to their grave. This may be the case, but that's not all of who they are. Grant them the right to have some part of themselves, spirit, if you will, higher self, that is in this life to learn and grow to forgive and open as much as I am. And if I can focus on that part, it will put me well ahead of the game of being able to keep my channels of love open. Step 4 is that I give up the claim to punishment. So I may say, well, I forgive you for what you have, but boy, the way you treat people, someday you're going to get yours coming. Well, that's not complete forgiveness. It's still holding on to the wish that something bad will happen because of the way the other person is. This, again, clogs the pipes of genuine love shared with other people. Now, I taught this for many years before I recognized another subtle influence of this claim to punishment, which is I may be holding on to the claim to punishment for myself. Oh, having relationships with these kind of people will keep recurring to me in my life, and I'm going to suffer because of it. It's no more noble to hold on to punishment for myself than it is for punishment for others. Genuine forgiveness requires that I even the playing field and let go of consequences which may be negative to myself or others. And that brings us to the 5th step, which is restoring harmony in the relationship, which means that I can go on without harboring negativity towards the other person. Now, that doesn't mean that I have to like everything they do or even become lifelong friends with them. I may have to keep boundaries or a respectful distance if they continue to behave in ways which are deleterious to my well-being. But I can allow them the space to be on the planet and to learn the lessons that they need to in the way they go about it, as I do the same. Now, if you're having difficulty in forgiving in a relationship or letting go of an incident, I suggest you check out these 5 steps and see which one you may be stuck on. These tools have been invaluable to me in increasing intimacy, restoring closeness in relationships, but also in opening the doors of prosperity and abundance. If you are interested in these kinds of tools that will give a greater sense of joy and effectiveness in your life, check out our online School of Integrative Psychology. This is Jim Morningstar. Blessings to you.